It was a call to arms that was answered by thousands. From the towns and the desert, opposition fighters gathered in Ajdabia to repel an attack by forces loyal to Gaddafi. Their weapons ranged from the powerful tanks and anti-aircraft batteries to those more at home in a museum. There was confusion and disorganization. Shells were fired out. Complaints returned as residents ahead explained they were coming under fire from their own side. What about the capability? I mean, you've got a lot of men here and you've got a lot of weapons. Can the men use the weapons?
God willing, they will learn to use the weapons effectively.
The conviction of the volunteers has to be admired. The capability is open to question. Gaddafi's forces were said to number around 300 men. They attacked the strategically important town of Brega at first light, and witnesses said they began firing indiscriminately.
This I see in the morning. Many people come in mafia for Gaddafi. He killed many people in the morning.
Heavy weapons were sent forward and hundreds of trucks and cars stacked with ammo and guns taken from captured army stockpiles. Casualties came back. Many hurt, he told us, many dead. This doesn't seem to have been a full-fledged assault, more like a probing attack, but it shows that Gaddafi forces are strong, they can strike at will, and that the Libyan leader shows no signs of giving up. Quite the contrary, he's hitting back. 10 kilometers from Brega and more forces congregated. No one seemed to know exactly what was happening. Then a Libyan Air Force bomber circled overhead. Its first bombing run hit close to the center of the fighting near Brega University. The second hit our position. Landing 70 meters away. Miraculously, no one was hurt. Then Gaddafi's fighters fled.
We suddenly saw some Toyota cars with anti-aircraft batteries. They started firing mortar rounds. The shells fell near us.
They left behind spent mortar, shell and machine gun casings and 10 dead civilians. 21 people were wounded, including a 7-year-old boy who survived a bullet lodged in his nose. These people who were killed, were they fighters or were they ordinary people?
Ordinary people. Ordinary people. He is going when Gaddafi's people. He is coming to university.
2 of the bodies were said to be of Gaddafi fighters. It was claimed one carried ID showing he was from Niger in Africa, but it's hard to verify. Despite the howls of bravado, this brazen attack has provoked both fear and anger and reminds everyone of the violent threats of Gaddafi. On Wednesday, we witnessed why the opposition is desperate for a no-fly zone and why it may not have the military capability to liberate all of Libya by force just yet. But this conflict seems far from over, and the question is, how many more Libyans are going to die before it is?
He said it before, but only in a handout. This time it was on live TV. As Mexico's president looked on, President Barack Obama said by turning his backers' guns on the Libyan people, Muammar Gaddafi has lost all legitimacy as their leader.
Colonel Gaddafi needs to step down from power and leave.
Obama spoke as rebels fought running battles with government forces in eastern Libya and in heartrending scenes buried the dead from previous attacks. With Gaddafi hunkered down in the capital of Tripoli, Obama told reporters a lengthy struggle could cause a humanitarian crisis.
There is a danger of a stalemate that over time could be bloody.
Which is why he's ordered U.S. warships to steam off Libya and the Pentagon to draw up a full range of options, including for enforcing a no-fly zone.
What I want to make sure of is that the United States has full capacity to act potentially rapidly.
At the moment, the military's only flying out Egyptian refugees, among the thousands who fled to the border with Tunisia. In fact, Defense Secretary Robert Gates has warned against loose talk about a no-fly zone, which he notes would involve bombing Libyan air defenses. A key Republican says he can't understand the caution.
It's not that hard to do. Second of all, the people on the ground are asking us to help them. When you bring in air power, or the helicopters or aircraft, even if they're not very accurate, and start killing people, that really does change the equation on the battlefield.
But for Obama, caution remains the watchword as the struggle for control of Libya and its rich oil fields intensifies.
For now, the president seems most focused on military missions that might avert human suffering. But he clearly wants to be prepared for tougher measures should the colonel who's ruled Libya for more than 4 decades now not get his unmistakable message and leave.